So the Middle East of this world is really starting to break out into a whole bunch of wars. We've got Assyria, Persia, Greece, obviously Ethiopia technically has their hands in Egyptian territory, so you can kind of count them as kind of Middle Eastern. They're dealing with Middle Eastern affairs, being so close to that region as well. So it's definitely really it's not stable. There's a lot of wars going on, and I've been talking about this for a while. Someone from that region needs to blob out if anyone's going to stop Ethiopia. And technically, there are a few nations that could. I don't know if it's going to be Greece. I think if we were to see a new nation, a new power rise from this region, the reason would come from the Ottoman-Greek War. I think this is the start of something. I hope it's the start of something. I would absolutely love to see a great power form in this region of the map, only because we've never seen it before in one of these AI-only world battles. This region usually stays pretty divided, but I would absolutely love if someone, not Ethiopia though, somebody else rises. I mean, it could be Tibet, it could be India. I doubt India though. They don't have much of an army. I mean, we've got Persia, Assyria at it. Pretty much the four main nations are all at war. Someone needs to have some sort of luck or success if they want to kind of blob out. Obviously, Babylon is kind of easy picking somewhat. Persia, Syria, and Greek and the Ottomans are at war. So let's see the resulting effects of what's going to go down. We've got Tibet also at war with Persia. Didn't see that before. So there's this massive coalition that formed against Persia because Persia declared on the Greeks. And I guess they just thought, well, Persia, you're being too aggressive. We don't like you anymore. So this is going to make things difficult because now for the Greeks, they have to deal with possibly a threat from the Persians. It probably won't be that bad because the Assyrians and the Tibet will probably step in and distract them for a bit. But now the Greeks are going to move their units down south, which kind of frees up the Ottoman units to attack Athens. They still have to get through a lot of Greek ships. There's a lot in the Eastern Mediterranean, so that's going to be pretty difficult. Let's go and check back on East Asia. So yeah, it seems like everything is normal. If anything, Korea has made somewhat of a comeback with 3 artillery units and 1 Great War Bomber. Actually, this Hanoi is undefended at the moment. Obviously, they have the Air Force. Wow, that's a pretty big deal. We have Austria adopting order. There is a battleship located and a privateer. Did they get open borders through Japan too? No. See, that's been the biggest problem for Korea this entire campaign, is they were never able to get on the Japanese good side. Oh, now we have India, Tibet. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. So Tibet is feeling aggressive, going after both Persia and India, but this is going to free up the Assyrians to maybe get more done in Persian territory. I know technically, of course, India and maybe this is somewhat modern-day Pakistan. Technically, they're not a part of the Middle East if you look at I'm not sure. If you look it up there, I understand that. But I'm just saying this is a very small region. And, it's a very divided region, I should say. So someone could potentially start to rule over. And India, even though they are only at 1 city, but they do have the support of their 3 colonies, which is a big deal. They might be able to get something started. Maybe even Tibet. I'm not sure. So if they really start to work, then it's possible. Okay, so I think if anything, as we're seeing kind of these turns kind of go by and stuff like that, if anything, I'm starting to realize that maybe we won't see a nation from this region kind of rise from the ashes. Instead, we might see other great powers start to pick off some of the cities on the perimeter. Obviously, Ethiopia would be one. Theodora has been captured by, yep. So Sweden took that over. Byzantium is down to just 1 city, which Mongolia has fully engulfed. Funny. We have Indonesia with a wonder. And Poland denounced Assyria. Okay. Champa just trying not to get on anyone's bad side right now. Man, the Champa have stayed so quiet. Shocked that they're actually even around. Okay, so 1 artillery unit was destroyed. Because of the Air Force from the north, the Philippines have really kept this city's defense very low. I'm wondering why that city is no longer there. Oh, so the Philippines have apparently a glitch in that mod where you can't see the cities. I knew about that because we had played I'd done a best modded Civ AI only, and we witnessed that sort of glitch in the previous campaign. Okay, anything else? No, what else is new here? Persia has a pretty big army. Ah, man, I could see maybe nothing happening here. What if it just ends in just a huge stalemate? I'm still pretty shocked that we're having this massive regional war. Tibet after India, Tibet after Persia. I think India is also after Persia. Maybe not. Assyria, Persia. We've got Persia versus Greece and Assyria. The Ottomans after the Greeks. You know, actually, the Civ that could benefit the most right now is the Civ that isn't doing anything. The Civ that's sitting back with a ton of units that isn't actually engaging in their war. That will be the Civ that becomes most dominant. So, like, Tibet, right now, they should just let everyone go to war, kill off all their other units, and then pick them off one by one. Pick off those cities one by one. That wouldn't be too difficult. It does seem like Ethiopia is starting to get very close to taking over the final Babylonian city. I'm sure that'll happen eventually. Rome really rebuilding their units. Yeah, they've really rebuilt quite quickly here. Are there any new possible... Ooh! Look at Indonesia. Wow, and they did. Oh my goodness, it is a freaking miracle. Rome somehow settled the Panama Canal perfect way. It's in a perfect fashion. So that's a big city to have now that Rome has acquired that one. England's not at war with Portugal, right? I don't think they are. Gosh, England's been so disappointed. They had the good naval campaign, but that is it, man. That is it. Okay, so we have Mongolia with the biggest military in the world, and actually it's massive compared to second place with Russia. Then Indonesia, wow. Poland, Rome, Portugal. Ethiopia clearly lost quite a bit during their massive wars that they've just gone through. We've got Congo pretty high too, and the Champa. England in 10th place. Yeah, and then we obviously have some strugglers, some stragglers. I didn't realize how low Gandhi was before on the list. No wonder Tibet declared war. Okay, so it looks like Korea... Oh my gosh, Korea took Hanoi back. Wow. And so uh-oh. This is bad. Obviously, this is really bad for the Philippines. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Rome and Indonesia peaced out. It looks like Rome's going to keep their colonies. So the Philippines, yes, the Koreans lost a lot of power in the process, but at the same time, the Philippines lost their entire military. That was a very interesting battle there, because the Philippines are done. They are done. Yeah, they can sit over a caravel, but that's it. They've got submarines and they've got an air force, but the Philippines are not occupied. They're not preoccupied with building a military. They don't care about their military. Whereas the Koreans do, clearly. They've rebuilt. And maybe that is because of the huge threat they face with the Mongolians to the north. Maybe the Philippines don't see their counterpart, the Indonesians to the south, as big of a threat, even though they should, as we saw in the military overview screen. The Indonesians are actually pretty damn powerful. I don't know. Maybe it's just a difference in AIs, in the way they think. But Korea made a massive comeback, and they captured those two cities back. Again, solidifying their power. Obviously, I don't think they'd be able to defend again They would not be able to defend themselves from a Mongolian attack from the north, but still, pretty crazy. Poland now using the open borders agreement that he gave Catherine in the previous video. Songhai and France. Wonder what Poland's going to be doing here. Let's go back to the Middle East. Is there anything happening? Seems like just everybody is losing units. Persia looks pretty weak, but so does Assyria. Oh my gosh. So those were just massive wars that pretty much I think is not going to result in anything. Unless, of course, now the two nations that seem to be least affected is actually the Ottomans and the Greeks. They don't seem like they've lost that big of a military. If the Greeks could technically go after Persia right now, but they got to peace out with obviously Solomon first. Ottomans could go after Assyria. It's funny how that whole thing works out. It could. That could. Not saying it will, but it's a possibility. Assyria is probably going to lose all these units because you just have too many cities bombarding you from the middle, and there's cannon units, range units that are going to do a lot of damage. I wonder what Ethiopia is going to do next. Now that Ethiopia kind of has these clean borders, I mean, the easiest war they could go after would probably be Babylon. What do we have? Champa has adopted order. Okay. And are the Philippines bringing in reinforcements? Not really. They've got one infantry unit. That will not be enough, that's for sure. Any more settlers in the Pacific? No. No, there's nothing left. Do I see... Is there... Let's go ahead and check on the Atlantic. Is there anything in the Atlantic? Still, massive amounts of Portuguese ships out this way. Embargo of Mali. India's trying to vote for that. Okay. And is that everything? Yes. England looks like they're going to try something. Now, is England at war with India? I thought they were, but I don't remember. We're going to find out right now. It looks like it. Yeah, they are. Okay, so this might be the way England maybe acquires a city or two. A colony, I should say. This city is starting to become... It's blockaded. There are 3 privateers, 3 frigates, as well as artillery units and melee units. They've actually have a really, really good chance of probably taking over this Indian city in northern Mexico. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Are they bringing in any of the reinforcements, though? Not really. They have an admiral, but that's taking forever to get there. Nothing can reinforce from Nottingham. All right, well, India's going to face their first big challenge. They're going to face a pretty big challenge, actually. What's going on here? Nothing much, but Korea's still rebuilding. You know what? I would be worried if I were the Philippines. They might even take this city. They might even take the original, Philippine city that they settled, thousands of years ago. This has been everyone has wanted this city. This has been the city to take. It's a massive city. Huge population. Most of the cities from the Philippines are massive, though. So I guess that's not super surprising. Let's go and check back on the Middle East. Again, the Greeks and the Ottomans look good. Seems like the Ottomans might have lost a pretty big chunk of their fleet. Yeah, it does seem like that. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing because I don't want to have an impact. I mean, I guess I could vote for the World's Fair, which that doesn't super matter. And now Mali was embargoed. Pretty much, I mean, I think we've noticed this. If you've been following around AI-only battles, the AI will just embargo anybody. I don't think they care. AI is just like, yeah, whatever, throw embargoes over everyone's head. It's okay. Okay, so here we go. The Ottomans have actually landed on... They're close to Athens, I should say. Crossbowman's pretty far behind technology. This Janissary is not going to have too good of a time. Yes, that's pretty crazy. Is Poland at war with Sweden? No. I don't think so. Now I think that's something that could happen. That's something that definitely could happen because Poland has quite a few ships in the Baltic Sea. They could easily go after Stockholm. Oh, not easily because they'd have to fight through all these Swedish ships. But it would still be kind of entertaining. Surprised at how quiet Poland has been. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really surprised that they've just kind of stopped. All right, so here we go, England. Are you going to be able to take over this city? You might possibly. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, you should. You should. You've got multiple ranged attacks. You haven't landed the cannon units just yet. You'll probably lose one privateer, but honestly, if you only lose one privateer, that's a huge success. Don't lose the frigates, and don't lose the land units. You're going to have to fight a lancer, but that's okay. Now, technically, they could go to the south and maybe take over one more. And this could be English Mexico in 5 turns. This could literally straight up become English Mexico. So they did okay. Do they have planes? How did they do 2 shots there? Byzantium and England pieced out. England's adopted order. All right, so England's going to be able to take that over next turn, I think. The problem is that they're going to get this cannon unit destroyed. So they will not just lose. They'll probably lose 2 units. Songhai has adopted autocracy. We've got England going order. We saw that. Turn 379. Again, the Ethiopians aren't doing much. Oh, Songhai's actually going after Rome now. And Rome is also going after Songhai from the other side. This city that Greece controls is really starting to become a thorn in most of the nations of Africa's side. Because everyone has to go around, and as well as, I guess, same thing goes for the Congo, but at least Rome has open borders through the Congo territory. So it's only been a problem for Ethiopia, that city's location. Obviously, Tibet did not take over Delhi. I didn't think that was going to happen anyways. Greece seems to somewhat be approaching Babylon, but yeah, no, I mean, this region has really just destroyed all its units. And if Ethiopia or maybe Russia wanted to capitalize, they certainly could. Russia would be another nation that would really benefit. It could definitely capitalize here. Maybe attacking this easternmost Ottoman city. Do we see any notifications? We've got Ethiopia and India. Poland and India. Once again, we're seeing Ethiopia and Poland work together. And it's like, it kind of feels like Poland is being like the sidekick here. It's like Ethiopia's Batman. Or they're evil. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, that's just like the only thing I can think of. Ethiopia's Batman, but Poland feels like a Robin, like a sidekick. Like Poland's not doing anything. They're just helping out this friend. Like, it's no, Poland, you've got the power to be your own man. You could go after someone like Sweden and probably have some success. You could go after Austria. It'd be tough because you have to fight through all these units, but you could still try it. Let's see what England does after. So I know they captured that first Indian city, and they are moving down south. There's 2 Lancers now that the Indians control. But at least England's doing something, right? At least we're seeing England do a little bit of something. Any more settlers? Still nothing. A couple, ooh, and they are, wow, look at this. This might be one of the craziest comebacks I've ever seen. For a second there, I thought Korea was done. And it looks like they've got a battleship in place, cavalry, multiple artillery moves, multiple melee units. Wow, if they lose this city, oh man, that is going to be one of the biggest swings. That's almost as good as that like massive Russian war we saw in the middle of this campaign. Russia fought 2 different fronts, survived, and then became really, really powerful. Dang. I mean, it's possible. I mean, these cities are pretty much... Oh, but there's a Marine unit. Is that the only thing you've been working on in the Philippines? Like, have you just been working on that one Marine unit? Looks like the Champa got open borders through Filipino territory, which means that they, that happened vice versa as well. Which would be bad somewhat because that means they could take these submarines and go after the battleship. Mongolia and India finally pieced out. Anything else? I'm shocked that Mongolia has not gone after Tibet just yet. I want to see... Okay, I just really want to see what's going to happen. What does Korea do here? Again, 4 artillery moves. They can't necessarily attack with all 4 this turn, but they can set it up to the point where they can have, 4 artillery attacks. If they keep all their battleship, one battleship attack. Next turn, they will have 4 artillery attacks, and then the battleship as well. More than likely, the Philippines will go after the melee units, but they've got more melee units that are willing to come in there and take the spot. This is crazy. That would be a really, really big moment. At the same time, you have to worry about Hanoi, but I don't think that's going to fall. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.